A netizen shared a few pictures from Biden's inauguration ceremony and compared them with President Trump's. A netizen shared this video clip featuring Howard X, a well-known Kim Jong-un impersonator in Hong Kong.
And I'm here in Hong Kong at the airport police station reporting to the police station because I was arrested on the 20th.
Recently, he shared that he was arrested on firearm possession charge over BB gun. He has been a long-time pro-democracy activist, showing support for the anti-extradition bill protests and criticizing the Chinese Communist Party for its human rights abuses. According to a recent interview he did with Radio Free Asia, he said, "In my opinion, this was an arbitrary arrest from a satirical critic of the CCP government in the years past. He was born in Hong Kong and raised in Australia. He has since been released on bail and is required to report to the police station every 6 weeks." A netizen recalled that back on January 8th, Biden already promised to defeat the National Rifle Association after he is inaugurated. This journalist recently shared that by typing in Antifa.com in your web browser, the website that you will be redirected to is whitehouse.gov. A netizen shared this to prove the same. A netizen replied, "Previously, by typing in Antifa.com, you will be redirected to the Biden campaign site." But there were also netizens who felt that this is not significant. For example, this one replied, "That's not their organization website. Someone else owns that domain and has changed the redirect several times. It used to redirect to joebiden.com. This is not a newsworthy story." A netizen shared that Biden has brought Silicon Valley executives into his administration. According to an article published in the Washington Examiner, previously worked at tech giants like Twitter, Facebook, and Google. A few transition team members worked in the Obama administration before joining one of the tech firms, and then later joined the Biden team. The article listed a few examples. A former Facebook director served as the Biden transition team's general counsel, served on the Biden transition team's review team for the intelligence community. The former Facebook manager of governance and strategic initiatives will be working for Biden's Small Business Administration. In addition, 2 Amazon officials were offered positions on the Biden review team for the Office of Management and Budget and as well as the State Department. And even more, Biden's nominee for the Secretary of State has ties to both Amazon and Google. According to Open Secrets, which is a campaign finance research group, many employees at big tech companies such as Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon, tens of millions of dollars in total to the Democrats in the 2020 election cycle alone. The Chinese Communist Party mouthpiece recently published articles demonizing former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and labeled him as the worst Secretary of State in American history, and that he is known for lying, cheating, and stealing. A netizen replied, also calling Pompeo the worst Secretary of State in American history, saying that he has no diplomatic achievements whatsoever. He widely promoted conspiracy theories regarding the origin of COVID, actively supported defunding the World Health Organization, placing sanctions on Iran and Cuba, using COVID as a pretext, which caused massive humanitarian crises, hoarding medical supplies across the world. A netizen shared that recently, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs made an announcement surrounding placing sanctions on Pompeo and a few other Trump administration officials, such as Kelly Craft, former U.S. ambassador to the UN, Steve Bannon, Robert O'Brien, among others. They have been banned from entering mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau. Their affiliated organizations have also been restricted from doing business in China. A netizen replied, "This is a clear indication of Pompeo's outstanding achievements." A netizen replied, "This is the highest proclamation that the Chinese Communist Party can ever give to Secretary Pompeo." A netizen replied, "There may be the possibility that some political elites in the US are working with the Chinese Communist Party behind the scenes with the common goal to crush Mike Pompeo and prevent him from ever running for president in the near future, and prevent the conservatives from gaining control of the White House ever again." A netizen replied, "Even though the individuals that the CCP sanctioned are from the former administration, what it has done in this regard should definitely be seen as insulting the American government. It may also be hoping to see how the current administration would react. So to this extent, the CCP is testing the current administration." A netizen replied, Yesterday, the New York Times said that Secretary Pompeo is the worst Secretary of State in American history, and today, the Chinese government announced its decision to sanction Pompeo. How coincidental is this? This is clearly a seamless cooperation. A netizen shared an old Chinese article back from 2002. The title said that Bill Clinton delivered a speech in Shenzhen. The appearance fee was $250,000 US. A netizen replied, only a year after Clinton stepped down from office, he took tens of millions of US in briberies alone by working with the CCP. As a result of China joining the WTO, millions of Americans lost jobs, but no mainstream media has reported on any of these. A netizen recalled, I remember that the $250,000 US was paid by a contractor in Shenzhen. A netizen replied, the first batch of former White House officials that the CCP placed sanctions on are the most admirable and who I feel the most grateful for their contributions to America and in particular their policies toward the CCP. What Beijing has done again justified how correct America's policy shapes were. A netizen shared this picture of President Trump and commented, over the past 4 years, he earned support and respect from massive numbers of American people. But he was also demonized, attacked, and framed. Clearly, he is far from a perfect person. He is just a freshman in politics. But with immense courage, he broke the taboo and helped the American people wake up to the true threats, both domestic and abroad, that America is facing. A netizen shared that these are President Trump's legacies. He is the first president whose account was permanently suspended by social media. He has earned the most real votes in American history. He is the first president to be labeled as inciting insurrection when he is still in office. He is the first president who has only taken a salary of $4. He is the first president in decades who has not led America into a war. A netizen shared this video clip from President Trump's farewell speech.
Of historic peace deals in the Middle East. Nobody believed it could happen. The Abraham Accords opened the doors to a future of peace and harmony, not violence and bloodshed. It is the dawn of a new Middle East, and we are bringing our soldiers home. We've done have been just incredible, and I couldn't have done it without you. So just a goodbye. We love you. We will be back in some form.
A netizen shared a few scenes showing supporters waiting for President Trump and the First Lady to return to Florida.
Take you in. Child, we will bring you home. You'll be a flower that sees the spring, soon a dove flying high.